So just start by allowing yourself to ask, what is the most challenging feeling state that most exists in my life right now? And appreciate that you have the depth of curiosity and love and trust to inquire as to what you really would be facing when you have that courage to go forward and find what's challenging you the most. And if you find that you have two or three, just choose one. And if you can't find one, just keep looking. So it may be something like anxiety or irritation, impatience, anger, withdrawal, loneliness, dullness, righteousness. But whatever your state is, just recognize that as not only your greatest challenge, but also your greatest possibility and opportunity to transform your life. And recognize that we're exploring this to find your highest potential. And then as you're starting to discover what this might be, ask yourself, what would be the healing focus, or what is it that I would most need that would support me if I were to focus on? So if I'm in a state of fear, how would I find that courage or safety? Or if I am that state of loneliness, or I feel like I'm in that state of loneliness, how would I feel connected? If I am withdrawn, how would I feel engaged? And just let yourself ask for a couple of moments. What would be the exact opposite focus from your feeling state that you may want to zero in on to discover what your needs are? And let this apply as much as possible to your most intimate personal relationship. So pause a little longer, looking at the closest relationship in present time, or maybe if it's not present time, maybe to a pattern that's emerged throughout your whole life. And then as you again acquaint yourself with this feeling state, you're asking yourself, well, what is it I really needed all those times? Or what is it I need at this time? And be appreciative that you're even looking, that you're at a state of development, that you're interested in your own feeling state and the underlying need or healing focus that would be there. And as you're becoming aware of what it is that you might need, imagine yourself asking for what you need in as kind or healing or as sensitive a way as possible, recognizing that that's extremely difficult because the tendency is so strong to ask for what you need from the challenged feeling state itself. And all you're trying to do is move in the direction. If you're 88% feeling anxious, maybe you're going to ask from a place of being only 80% anxious. Or maybe you're going to need to ask the person or your partner or your friend with a qualifier and say, you know what, I know that I'm really angry or uptight while I'm asking you to be kinder towards me, but could you still be kind towards me? And maybe it'll sound more like, I know I'm angry or uptight, but could you help me? So you're looking for this 3 states of development: the awareness of what you feel, the underlying need or healing focus, and the tone that would give you the highest likelihood of being able to be well received, knowing that this is an extraordinary level of development and appreciating the fact that you want to visit here as much as possible, because none of us can visit here enough. It's a pinnacle point of development. And now we're going to add a 4th level of real development or evolution, which is you're going to view yourself asking the person 3 times. Maybe it'll be 2, maybe it'll be 3 or 4 times, but somewhere around 3 times, you're going to ask as kindly, as warmly as you know how to do, recognizing you might only be able to 1/4 succeed, which is phenomenal. Which we want to be appreciative that we're just intending to do it from a place that's less destructive, in a sense less negative. And if we can acknowledge that that's what we're doing, that's even better. Okay, so now you are visualizing that you're doing this 3 times. And as you visualize this, imagine that your partner isn't responding very well, actually isn't giving you what you need. And so here you are. You've gone into what you feel, you've gone into what you need, and you're actually expressing what you need the best you know how to do. And you've done it 3 times. Now what do you do? And so this 4th level of development is now recognizing it has to go inside or needs to go to another source than the party that we're communicating with. So instead of asking, what do I need? You need to change the question to what is needed. How do I actually take care of myself, given the fact that I've done the best I can? What are my resources? What are my tools? And so what's needed is, if you wanted understanding, if you wanted kindness, if you wanted to be listened to, if you wanted encouragement, if you wanted to be trusted, then you need to ask yourself, can you give any of that to yourself? Can you trust yourself at all? Can you see your own sincerity? Are you capable of finding that voice inside yourself? And if you can't, then recognize that that is your challenge in life. That you want to cultivate more and more that capacity to find your own faith, to find your own trust, to find your own empathy. And that this is one of the hardest things in life to do. Here you are, you succeeded being a master communicator, the best you can, and it still doesn't work. Now you need to use your own inner resources and inner practice. And you get to ask yourself and use, maybe if you're somebody that is religious or uses intention, maybe you'll pray. Or if you're somebody that's a meditator, maybe you'll meditate. If you're somebody that knows how to inquire and ask questions that are going to be supportive, you'll inquire. If you have wisdom access, you might go towards your wisdom. Or if you have some self-compassion or some practice of being able to care for yourself, you'll go in that direction. And or you might go to your best friend or your counselor, or the person you know that's wisest, and you might ask for that same thing from them. And really appreciate that here you are going through all these levels of development and knowing that you always have your own practices available to you, and you also have your best friends, a counselor perhaps. You have whatever your best sources of wisdom are. Maybe it's even a religious or spiritual figure that you would bring up in your imagination and view their compassion, their mercy coming towards you. But you know that you as an individual want to always be in touch with your feeling state. You know what you want to be able to access what it is that you need. You know you want to express it as much as possible from your heart, even though it's quite difficult. You know you want to repeat it a few times to make sure you've done it in the nuanced way that's possible. And then when that doesn't work, you want to be able to take responsibility, to be independent, to be able to go back into your own development. And if it's not very developed, you don't want to just blame your partner. You want to recognize that you don't have enough resources on the outside or on the inside to be able to find peace yet. And that's okay. You can be honest about that. And appreciate, again, that you're doing your very best to find your essential qualities of heart and being that you're looking for, at first from the other, and then ultimately perhaps other people or yourself or some kind of spiritual or religious guides, and that you always have a place to put your sincerest attention, and that you can practice this for the rest of your life.